Guys, Deluded Guna, YouTube's N'Golo Kante. I'm back again now, following our victory 2-0 against the scum Spurs. North London is red for now. Yeah, enough of all of that banter and trolling. I've watched the game again, and I thought there's some additional talking points to come with. Firstly, 6th minute. Now, Mike Dean, whether it was the goal for our first goal, the foul on Mustafi, well, the foul on Alexis. Well, it wasn't a foul by Davison Sanchez. It was never a foul. He said he pulled him. If he pulled him by that logic, you have to yellow card him. Again, like, you just got everything wrong, whether it was some of the tackles to not booking a lot of the players. He really didn't know what he was doing throughout the whole game. 6th minute, I know like I was trying to say for our lost my trailer for Davison Sanchez, that's the foul that gets the headlines, and quite rightly so, it wasn't a foul. But look at the 6th minute when Ozil and Jan Vertonghen are in it. We should have scored. Vertonghen is never a foul. We should have scored. Ozil squared it to Lacazette, and we should have scored. It's nonsense. That game, I'm proud of how we kept our shape. And Dessa, you guys know I'm a big thing of building from the back, getting the back sorted, and then you go forward, building your house properly. When I see games like this is why I'm harsh on Arsenal, because they don't do it enough. I've famously said in my videos, we turn up for 5 games this season. We've now done it for 2 games against Chelsea and Spurs. There's 3 games left, so we'll see what that means. But the shape, it's like for once they worked on shape. You saw obviously in the second half as people got tired, standards dropped, but especially the first 20, you saw the shape in and out of the play. Alexis and Ozil tucking in, something Alexis hasn't done for a while. The central midfielders pressing Spurs along with the front 3 pressing Spurs. I saw Xhaka and Ramsey actually look like a pairing for once. I mean, yeah, they were doing their thing. We weren't giving much away. One criticism in regards to the defence is the slicing the ball and not clearing our lines. But I was happy with the shape, man. Whether we were shuffling from side to side, defending from the front. There was only a couple incidences, as you'd expect, where we lost concentration, like when Koscielny headed it and Kane should have done better in the first half. I was very impressed with that, and that's one of the most things I was impressed with. I was impressed with the first 20 minutes. We pinned Spurs back. We like I said in relation to pressing them high up the pitch, we pinned Spurs back. Obviously, they like to play with their back 3. Whether it was Jan Vertonghen or whoever in possession, we were causing them to lose the ball, make errors. You saw Dyer lose the ball that could have proved costly a number of occasions. And when we couldn't crowd them out and force them to kick it out or concede it, we forced them long. You saw Lloris, Jan Vertonghen, all of them hitting balls long to Kane. And then we isolated Kane. Kane was alone by himself and he's not fully fit. I don't know what his fitness is, considering he's had a couple of weeks to recover because he didn't go, well, he had a week or so because he didn't go with England. But he was isolated. When he was knocking it, trying to chest it down, 3 or 4 shots onto him already. Look at you, notes want to drop. They were onto him already. Onto him when he was knocking it down. It was onto him. None of the Spurs boys were supporting him, so he had no one to link up with really. And in relation to Kane and Dele, I do think they dropped off in the first half, because you saw initially they wanted to press from the front, then they stopped, then you saw Dele come deeper. So I wasn't impressed with Spurs. That's probably the most unprofessional performance from Spurs, the most unlike Spurs performance. It's the roles reversed. It's like we learned how to defend, they forgot how to defend, and some of the errors they make, Pochettino must have punched at least one of them players, because it was ridiculous. Spurs weren't following runners. They were switching off. There was no midfield from Spurs, especially in the first 25 minutes. Where was Spurs' midfield? Like, Dembele here and there, but that just made our job easier. Yes, we were getting caught 3 versus 3 at a couple of occasions, but there was really no midfield. You know, a central thing to Arsenal is our midfield. We know you like to get things going and play the Arsenal way. So where was the midfield? Like, I never saw Dele, I never saw Eriksen, I saw Dembele. Who was next to him? Exactly, that says it all. I can't remember off the top of my head. I was impressed, man. I was very impressed, man. Like, very impressed. And you could see by the first 25 minutes, I believe it was 52% possession, played 52% of the ball was in the middle. And like you could see, that was always going to be a thing. And we stood up to be counted, man. Like, we were very good, man. Spurs weren't following runners, and we were taking advantage. You saw Ozil, Ramsey, Alexis, Lacazette, several times Lacazette getting behind. A lot of lovely runs. And when I see this, you want this more on a consistent basis. Again, I'm not going to get into that. We've been down that road before. But yeah, man, like, 35th, obviously in the 35th minute or something, Mustafi's goal. Now, it wasn't a foul, but similar to when Wenger moans about refs' decisions, I'm going to have to get onto my guy Poch, because if you focus on your side, you could have got away with that. I mean, he's fractionally offside. What happened to us when it was Stoke and them things there, or against City when we weren't getting the decisions? Like, whether he was offside or not, Jan Vertonghen, Eric Dyer can do better. Now, fair enough, if these are Spurs players, this is how they mark, this is what they've been working on the training ground. But it looked like some people had men, some people didn't. And if you look on the far post, Davies has 2 men. Vertonghen and all these others were not, and all the other players in that line were not shuffling across. And yeah, Vertonghen and Dyer were switched off. Mustafi had an easy run. They were switched on a bit more. It's not 1-0 there, to be honest with you. And you don't know what happens in regards to that. Like, yeah, man. Spurs had more passes and more possession than us, but obviously we had the lead. Again, roles reversed. Normally, that's something I'm saying about Arsenal. All I've got to say is Spurs were so disorganised from the back. Like, I've never seen Spurs that much disorganised. Like, giving the ball away, no runners in possession, non-existent midfield. There was just nothing. The second goal, look how much time Alexis Sanchez had. Like, look how much time Alexis had. If you look at it properly, Eriksen actually loses the ball quite poorly. I mean, I've just said they have no midfield. Spurs' midfield are not there. When the ball comes under him, fair enough, you're under pressure. But you're Eriksen. You're a very good player under pressure. You should be getting it under, trying to do a little turn or something and get things going or calm it down. Instead, he cheaply gives it away. I believe between Ramsey and Bellerin, they react. The ball comes in behind to Lacazette. Jan Vertonghen and the other centre-half, all of that back three, especially Vertonghen and Dyer, they're not what? They have no clue where their man Lacazette is. He makes the run. By then, it's too late. Ozil did very well to trick Vertonghen in it as well. By then, it's too late. And then the ball comes in. And then look how much time Alexis had to finish that scruffy finish. That just shows they weren't awake. And if I'm very harsh, Davinson Sanchez had a good game. But in the same way Lacazette made a run, Alexis made a run off Davinson Sanchez, and he had no clue where he was, and he got sucked into the ball, which he had to go and try and engage. But Alexis is there; he had enough time. If Davinson Sanchez followed his run, who knows what happens there? I believe second half Spurs did much better, to be honest with you. But by then the game was already done. But Dele and Kane, I weren't impressed with them. They stopped pressing. They weren't pressing consistently together. There was a lot going wrong with Spurs, to be honest with you. What else did I manage to write down? Yeah, man, also believe Wenger purposely subbed off Ozil as well to get the standing ovation, whether that's a bit of mind games towards signing a new deal or it's just a chance to give someone that's heavily criticised some praise. Yeah, man, I don't know what that was for. Alexis Sanchez's standards, he's still got 10 out of 10 in my ratings, but his standards dropped in the second half. He was giving the ball away a couple of times. The final ball weren't good enough. He kind of did stop following his runner, and he should have had a couple more if the standards were there. Kane's finishing. There was a chance I thought you must have watched where the keeper dives to in check. Why aren't you going near post? You almost saw an effort from Eriksen hit the near post. Granted, it was after, but you can see where I'm going. Why was there no Spurs intent on trying to have shots at his near post? You know, whatever his near post is, he has problems with that. Mike Dean, we know Mike Dean was a joke, to be honest with you. In the 94th minute, we should have had a corner as well. He had a number of problems wrong, man. Spurs, it took 7 minutes to score 2 goals from us. That's something Arsenal do. That just shows how mentally Spurs weren't there today. And ultimately, Arsenal had 42% possession. Spurs had 58. We had 7 corners. They had 4. We had 11 fouls. They had 16. And we walk away with the 3 points. They had more passes, more possession, but we walked away with the 3 points. Like I said, roles reversed. And it really does put into context how... Again, we know what Arsenal's problems are, but 1 week Spurs are this madness, then Arsenal are this madness, United are going to win the league, then they're not, then they're in trouble, City are going to run away with it. When they go through tough patches, the media's going to write another story. And when you look at the league, there's not much in it but City, and that's why I said it's ridiculous to pick the top 6 in November, because all of the top 6 sides have a chance if they get through November, get through December, get to the end of January, in and amongst it. Arsenal, personally, we have 3 important games. We've got a hard-working Burnley side away, I believe. We've got to go to Huddersfield, which are not going to give us anything easy. And then the big one against United, another cup final of sorts. So, yeah, man, just couple analysis on the game a bit more, to be honest with you. But, yeah, DG, signing out. Mike Dean, I'm on you for not letting the Lacazette have a goal in the 6th minute. But, DG, I'm signing out.